Just how long are you going to keep living off of my parents, huh? What is the matter with you? Don't you have any shame or pride in yourself? How can you just keep living this way? Are you just never going to stop until you drained every single penny from my poor parents' bank accounts? Do you really think that just because you're my brother's wife that you can get away with taking advantage of my family like this? Well, I'm not going to stand for it. Do you hear me?
Amanda! It is just so lovely to hear from you. A real treat every single time. I see that you're still going on about this nonsense of me taking advantage of your parents. But as I've already told you over and over again, I am no leech. So, can we please just drop this whole thing already?
Well, of course a leech wouldn't think of themselves as a leech. They would think they're just going about their everyday lives while they suck everything from everyone around them. But just who told you that you were allowed to move into the condo with my parents, huh? You do know that they own that building and you have no right to be there, do you?
I'm really sorry, Amanda, but I think you must be mistaken about that condo. I mean, you do know that it's my name on the lease for it, don't you? So basically, that apartment belongs to me, and we're all living in it. Does that make sense to you?
You think I care if some stupid piece of paper has your stupid signature on it? None of that matters at all if you're making my parents pay the rent on that place. Does that make sense to you?
But I'm not making your parents pay for the rent, so I'm not sure what you're talking about at all when you say that.
You really have some nerve trying to brag to be about living in such a nice place when you're not even the one who's paying for it, you little rat. I know for a fact that your entire life is being bankrolled by my parents, and I'm not going to stand for it. I won't see you drain my parents of their savings because that's my inheritance.
Amanda, what is the point of this conversation? What are you trying to say? Because you're really just not making any sense at all. I mean, Brendan and I both have full-time jobs that we work very hard at. There's just no truth to these claims for leeching. At all. So, I really just want to know what is going to make you happy, or at the very least, stop sending messages like this to me and accusing me of things I'm not doing.
You want to know what I want? Fine, I'll tell you what I want. I want you and Brendan to move out of the condo and let me and my husband take your place. That's what would make me happy.
Really? Is that really what you want to happen to solve this? Even after you've spent years barely even talking to your parents? I don't understand. Why are you suddenly wanting to move in with them now? Did something happen? Do you need some kind of assistance?
Oh, shut up. I wouldn't accept help from you if we were the last two people on Earth. I just wanted to be there for my parents now that they're getting up there in age. Is that really so bad? I just can't help but think that they must need some assistance living in that giant condo all by themselves. That's why it would be best if my hubby and I moved in and took your place. My husband is already on board, so you might as well just say yes and move out.
Well, first of all, your parents literally do not live alone. Brendan and I also live in this condo, as you well know. But I still don't understand why you think you and your family would be able to move in with us. I know this place is big and all, but I think we're already at maximum capacity with the four of us. And I just can't see 6 people sharing this space comfortably.
Sharing? What on earth are you talking about? Do you really think that I would ever want to live with you?
Sorry, then what are you talking about? What is it exactly that you want from me?
I want you and my no-good nerdy brother to move out of that condo so that my husband and I can move in. I already made that very clear in other messages. I'm ordering you to move out right now. Do you understand me?
But I thought I already explained to you that I own the condo. The lease is under my name and everything, so I don't understand why you would want us to move out.
I already told you that I don't care whose stupid signature is on what stupid paper. You're living with my parents, and as her actual child, I have the right to demand to live with my mom. Over you. You're just standing in the way and being obstructionist at this point, so just leave us alone already.
So I guess you're just going to completely ignore the fact that your brother is also here and living with your parents then? And if you really think that we're such awful people to be around your parents, why don't you go and ask your mom herself what she wants? I mean, they were the ones that moved into the condo with us, I'll have you know.
Oh, I will go and ask her. You can count on that, Tracy. But in the meantime, you and Brendan should pack your bags and get ready to leave.
So, you're really serious about this then? You're really going to try and kick Brendan and I out of our own condo? I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, it's clear that you haven't even talked to your parents about any of this. Maybe you should do that first before jumping the gun like this.
What the heck is the matter with you? I told you that I wanted you out by the end of the week and you're still here? You must have really been trying to piss me off. I guess that explains why I slapped you right on your stupid face.
Are you sure that you don't mean to be apologizing to me right now? I mean, seriously, Amanda, have you lost your mind or something? Why on earth would you do something like this? What is the matter with you?
Oh, shut up, you sore loser. I told you and Brendan to be out of the condo by now and you weren't. You had plenty of warning, so don't act so shocked about this. And what about these boxes that you've left here at that condo? Are you going to come and get them or shall I just chuck them all in the garbage?
Amanda, you are seriously going to regret doing this. I don't think that you understand the mistake that you're making. I mean, you clearly had no clue that it was Brendan and I, mostly me, that were letting your parents stay with us out of the kindness of our hearts. But you seriously hit me to get me out of my own home. You are not going to live this down and I will make sure that you pay for this.
Oh, please. You think I care what some little leech thinks about what I've done? You two can just disappear for all I care. Now this condo is all mine. And we deserve it much more than you do. After all, you were just leeching off my mom and my dad, using them like your purse and piggy bank. But I talked to my dad and he said it was fine if we move in.
I'm wondering if you've heard the saying, pride comes before the fall? In this, I think it's more idiocy than pride, but it can be hard to tell with you. I mean, you really just don't know when to quit, and now you've gone and made a real mess of things for everyone.
There you go. Now the real you starts to come out. You know that people only resort to name-calling when they have nothing of value to add to a conversation. And besides, don't go acting as if you weren't trying to steal my family's home around from them. I was only doing what I had to do to protect my parents from horrible people like you and my brother. So just shut up, accept that you've lost, go and never come back, and take my stupid brother with you.
If insulting people means that you have nothing to add to a conversation, then that certainly explains every message you've ever sent to me. I seriously can't deal with you when you act like this. You are just being totally unreasonable and I can't stand it.
Oh, just give it a rest already, would you? You've lost. Don't you see that? I won. The condo is mine. My parents are safe and all is right with the world. Now my husband and I are going to live with and take care of my parents, and you two are never ever going to bother any of us again.
All right then. I hope that you all have a nice life.
And don't ever let me catch your ugly muck sulking around this building either. You got it?
Okay then. I understand. But if you're doing this, then there is some business that we need to attend to. Of course, I still haven't forgiven you for this or for hitting me in the face, but there is some paperwork we need to take care of. Like changing the name on the lease. Okay then, it's all done. I talked to the leasing company, explained the situation, and that should be the end of it. Enjoy living in your new condo, Amanda!
It's about damn time you got back to me. Could you have moved any slower? You really are useless if it took you that long to change some names on a form. It really is a good thing that I'm kicking you out now. Who knows what damage you might have caused.
Well, does it feel good? Do you think you've won now? Are you glad that your brother and I are finally moving out? Because Brendan and I couldn't be happier to finally be rid of that place.
Oh, please. You think I'm really going to buy that you're happy and that I was able to steal your home away from you? Try less harder. I mean, you two are homeless now. You have nowhere to go, and I've taken everything from you. What could you and my stupid brother possibly be so happy about?
Oh, Amanda! I think you're mistaken again. Brendan and I aren't going to be homeless at all. We've been living in a hotel and we'll keep doing so this week while we arrange all of our stuff for the move. I told you over and over again that Brendan and I both work full-time jobs. And we have quite a bit amassed in savings now. Not to mention the fact that I'm going to be charging you a prorated fee for the time that you'll be in the apartment, as well as for the down payment and everything like that.
You really expect me to pay you a single cent? Why on earth would I ever do that?
Well, because in all those documents I sent you to sign, your husband signed a deal agreeing to pay all of this. So I'm afraid you can't run from this one.
Wait, what? You can't be serious. We're not going to pay anything that you didn't already explain to us that we'd have to pay beforehand. That's just ridiculous. It's particularly theft.
I'm sorry, but it really isn't my fault at all if you or your husband just signed those papers without reading through what they said. But anyways, you've already signed them and they've already been officiated, so there really isn't anything you can do about it. And then, once you've paid Brendan and I what you owe us, we'll agree to never ever talk to you again. Which means that we expect to never hear from you either.
Whatever. I don't care about anything you and my lousy brother have to say. We would never even want to talk to you again anyways. And besides, we still have this condo all to ourselves. I seriously doubt that whatever we owe you is even going to be that much. So we'll pay for it for no reason than to finally be rid of you.
Alright then. If you pay us what you owe us, then we'll be out of your hair and you'll never have to deal with us again. That is what you want, isn't it?
You know darn well that's exactly what I want. Not only was I able to save my parents from being in the clutches of horrible vampires such as yourself, but now I finally get to live with my parents.
You know, you keep calling me a parasite and accusing Brendan and I of leeching off of your parents. But I think that you and your husband are going to be the real leeches.
Say whatever you want, you sore loser. It isn't going to change the fact that I have a condo and you don't, and you're clearly just jealous of that fact.
Great, well, think what you want. I really don't care. I hope that this all turns out the way that you want it to. Good luck with everything, and never ever contact us again, okay?
I was just about to tell you the same thing about not contacting me. I really don't care at all how you and Brendan's life end up, really.
Right, well, I guess I'm just wondering how you two are going to afford to pay rent on that place next month. After all, it was not cheap to live in that place, but I'm sure that you'll all figure it out. Good luck!
Whoa, what? What is that supposed to mean? Is that some kind of joke?
Nope, I'm very serious. You'll have to pay to keep living there. It's kind of how these things work. Anyways, we're still busy with moving stuff here, so I've got to go. See ya!
Tracy, what is the meaning of this, huh? I mean, how could this happen? You need to explain to me what is going on right this instant.
Oh, Amanda! That's so funny hearing from you so soon. I thought you said that you were never ever going to reach out to us ever again. I wonder what this could be about. What seems to be on your mind? And please make it quick. I really don't have the time to talk to someone like you.
We can't afford the rent on this place and things are falling apart here fast. We even asked my parents to pay, but they said that they don't have any money in their bank accounts.
Well, yeah, I knew that already. But anyway, what is it that you wanted to talk to me about? Unless... No, Amanda. Say it isn't so. Don't tell me that you didn't know your parents were penniless.
Wait a second. You know that my parents didn't have any money in their bank accounts?
Of course I did. Why do you think that I was the only one paying for everything up until about a month ago? They certainly couldn't afford to do it.
But that's... Wait, what? Are you kidding me? So they really don't have any money at all?
That's what I'm telling you. Your parents don't have any money that I wasn't giving them. In fact, both of your parents were in so much debt that they had to sell their old house. That's when they had to reach out to Brendan and I and ask if they would live with us.
They sold their house because they were in debt? But I had no idea about that. Why didn't I know about it?
Probably because you never showed any interest in your parents until you thought you could use them to steal my condo from me. But it's all true. They couldn't afford to live in their own place, and so they begged us to let them move in, and we said yes.
But then, how am I supposed to pay this month's rent? I certainly can't afford a place like this. Tracy, what if you moved back in with all of us and then you could go back to paying how you used to?
You can't be serious about that, right? You really think that I would ever move back in there and live with you guys again? No. Brendan and I already told you that we never wanted to hear from any of you ever again. We've already bought our own new condo and we don't want anything else to do with any of you as long as we live. Do you understand?
Hold on a second. You and my brother bought a new condo together? But I don't believe it. How could you do that to me?
To you? This has nothing to do with you at all. We just needed a place to live since someone kicked us out of our old place.
But I had no idea that my parents didn't have any money. How could I have even know that? You should have told me about this before you let me kick you out.
Oh, please, Amanda. I told you time and time again that you should really talk to your parents about this. But you just wouldn't listen. Besides, do you really want me to feel bad for you after you slapped me in the face and stole our condo?
This can't be happening. Things weren't supposed to be like this. I don't know what to do.
I tried to tell you that Brendan and I were not the so-called parasites that you thought we were. If anyone was living off of anyone, it was your parents off of us. You were paying for every little thing at that place.
But that isn't fair. I thought that you were just trying to brag about your money so that you could scare me away from taking over your condo. You should have done more to convince me that this was a bad idea. This is all your fault. We were so happy to get to live in this huge place because we thought it was going to be free. But it's not like that at all. How could you do this to us? You betrayed us.
Betrayed you? Please do not tell me that you're trying to make yourself out to be the victim here. I am not going to stand for that for 1 second.
It isn't fair, though. I thought that my parents were going to pay for everything and that I wouldn't have to worry about anything after we moved in here.
Please tell me you're not serious about that. I mean, how old are you now? You're not some kid who gets an allowance from their parents anymore. You're an adult and you should know how to live within your means. Although, I can't say that I entirely blame you for not knowing how to save money, given the fact that your parents clearly didn't know how to do that either. But if you thought you wouldn't have to pay for anything, then you've just been delusional this whole time.
But I just wanted my parents to pay for things.
Repeating it isn't going to make it happen. You do realize that, right? Saying that you want your parents to pay for everything isn't going to change the fact that they don't have any money. Brendan and I wanted to live in that condo where you all are at for so long. We waited and waited and waited on a list for vacancies, and then we were finally able to secure one. And then, not only your parents, but then you and your husband came and took it all away from us. But I've already signed over the condo to your husband, so it's your problem now.
What do you mean you signed it over to him? That doesn't make any sense. When did this happen?
Last month, Amanda. It happened last month when I sent that paperwork for you to sign. Did you really not read any of it?
Well, I kind of more just skimmed over the first page of all the different stacks, but I thought that was where all of the most important information was.
All right then, that's fine if you did that, but it doesn't change the fact that you basically did this to yourself then. And I don't see any reason why I should give you anything or show any mercy because you were too stupid to not read a contract you signed.
But I didn't know that things were going to go like this. I would have never agreed to anything if I knew this was going to happen.
And what do you want me to do about it now? The documents are signed, everything is official, that's that.
But my husband and I have debt of our own, and a lot of it. There's no way that we could ever afford this place and make payments on it.
So that's what all of this is about. I had a sneaking suspicion that you might have owed money and that was what this was about.
You mean you knew this whole time that we were also in financial trouble?
Well, I did think it was weird that you two didn't own a home at all and that you were so eager to move in with your parents when you thought they were paying rent. It was just a guess of mine. But now I know that it's true.
But I still don't know what I should do. How do I get out of this mess now?
Well, one thing you could do is to look through the copies of the documents that I sent you. I think you'll see that if you fail to pay the rent, they will make a payment plan using your salary and take up to half of it while keeping a running tab for you that you'll have to pay at the end of the year.
But how much do I owe the building already?
Well, given that you two are technically new entrants, you have to pay the entry fee. Plus the space, of course. I think you're looking at around $10,000?
$10,000? Are you kidding me? I don't have that kind of money.
Well, you better come up with it soon or else your debt is only going to go up. Oh, and by the way, the building does add interest onto the running tab that they'll keep for you. Anyways, have a nice life. I'm going to block you after this, and then Brendan and I are never going to have to worry about you or your parents ever again.
Wait, you're going to block me? You can't do that. Please, you have to help me. You can't just leave.
I didn't block Amanda for a while after that, just to see what she would send me. She kept begging for help and for me to give her Brendan and I's new address. But I was never ever going to do that. It was long afterwards that I blocked her. I heard from some old neighbors in the building that loud fights could be heard from our old unit, and that by the end of the month, they saw Amanda and her family packing up their boxes and moving out of the condo. I have no idea where they all are now, or what they're going to do about their debt. But quite frankly, I don't really care.